I'll fly, and I'll fly into the end of the sky. So I'll be the one who doesn't have to say goodbye.
Hello guys, I'm Blood National. It's My Little Pony GRIMDARK reading called Sparrow reads Silence Ponyville. My Little Pony Fanfic reading GRIMDARK. Chapter 1. It is 35 minutes and 50 seconds long. Oh, yes. Okay, Silence Ponyville. It's based off the title is a play off words from the computer game. Is it something Silence something? I can't remember what the name's. What's the game called? Oh my god. I know this is going to be about Pinkie Pie based on the thumbnail. And Pinkie Pie is watching with me, which is kind of creepy. We don't know what she's capable of. Well, let's get the lesson started in 3, in 2, in 1, go!
Woo.
Warning. The following video contains content that some viewers may find disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
This is gonna be spooky.
Sparrow presents. Sparrow reads. Silence Ponyville Chapter 1. Okay. Between seasons 1 and 2, okay. Sounds some ponies running. Oh, that laugh, man! That was a creepy laugh. He shoots that sound effect. Oh! Fucking hell! Pinkie Pie's killing with cupcakes.
Do this to me.
Do this to me. Do this to me.
Do this to me.
Do this to me.
Already it sounds creepy.
Allah.
It was just a dream? It was just a dream?
It was all
Pinkie Pie's eyes shot open. Her face was buried in her wet pillows, stained from her tears. She quivered as she very gently tried to lift herself up from the bed. She was afraid of seeing her bed soaked, covered in blood.
Okay,
Evidence of a horrific deed she had committed. But her bed was dry.
Looks like the normal Pinkie Pie is the killer, and Pinkie Pie and the Dark Pie is the normal
to
one.
Her face, feeling the still fresh tears on her cheek. She shivered as her hair moved to cover her eyes, still in shock at the sights she had seen.
What's she seen?
How could I?
The
vivid images of the nightmare she had just slept through came back in her mind.
And then it was just normal Pinkie Pie.
Horrific cries rang vividly in her ears.
But technically they're the same person, but different personalities.
The feel of slicing open another living being. It felt so real.
Maybe it
Pinkie
was
shook
real.
her head viciously, trying to remove these thoughts.
Maybe it's Dr. Markentongue.
Why am I having these dreams?
I don't know.
She rammed her hooves into her head, trying to stop the images that were assaulting her. For the past 2 weeks, she'd been having restless nights of sleep. She was having nightmares every night.
Visions?
The severity of what they showed were getting worse and worse with
Bro,
each
this
one.
is way before Cold Sign even
The first dream
became a
hadn't been
thing.
too scary. She was just attacked by a monster.
Hello.
She had shrugged it off easily, and it wasn't too different from a normal day, really.
It's based on a game title.
Yeah.
One night, she was attacked by the Pony of Death who wanted her soul for damnation. Another night, it was a faceless slender pony whose presence quaked her very being.
Slender movie.
Then the next night, She suffered from a disease and starvation as her body had begun to rot, but was denied death from the pain. She could handle those dreams.
Yeah.
They weren't real after all.
Those who don't know what to
A good party with her friends made all those scary thoughts go away. She tried changing her diet for a day to see if the bad dreams
Are you
would
sure
go away,
Dr. Carlstein is not
and
here?
it worked
Or
for a night.
Markentongue?
but
Seriously?
only for the night.
We're
The next
on
night,
that one.
she had dreamt of being a monster, one with sharp teeth and claws. She
It's a
was
monster.
the monster, and she
Oh,
had attacked
really?
and eaten herself. She still remembered the gagging taste the dream had left in her mouth.
Mark's getting
The next
quoted
dream had
apparently.
her terrorizing ponies throughout Ponyville. She'd wrecked homes,
dear.
crops, products, and
Even while
lives.
reading it, I got quoted a few
Then
times.
the next
like,
night,
Like
she
I'd be reading a
attacked
line
each
and
of
I'd be
her
like,
friends.
let me guess, what's gonna happen on the
She could
next
feel
one?
the
This is
berserk
gonna
rage
happen.
of
What-
the
what do you
monster
know?
as
ends
it
up
had
happening
slashed
word for word.
and torn them apart indiscriminately.
Because
Oh,
I'm so
yeah.
But
experienced
at least it
before I
was
know
a
how,
quick death.
how shit goes on a
Her
lot
friends
of things.
didn't suffer in that dream. But the dream last night was different. It was personal.
It was real.
She was a monster again last night. But it was
I need my
different.
drink. Where's my
She was
drink?
just herself. No fangs, no claws, no berserk rage. But a monster.
A
In
ready
the dream,
monster.
she had captured her friend. Her dearest friend, Rainbow Dash.
What?
She had taken sharp
Not Rainbow
objects.
Dash! No!
Pinkie dashed into her bathroom before emptying the
hell was
contents
that
of her
all?
sord into the
I know that
toilet.
sounded...
As
You,
the
you did a
vivid
fucking
images
pun
of
there.
what she'd done in her dream flashed
did?
before her once
Pinky
more.
Dash.
She felt
Oh, Pinkie
wretched.
Dash. Yeah.
How could her mind even come
I'm
anywhere
like,
close to
well, I
thinking
know
of
what you're
such
doing there,
horrible,
author.
horrific
I see what you're
things?
doing there, author.
She loved her friends.
Keep
She
in mind,
loved
I
them
didn't
more
write
than the
this.
sun, then her
I
sweets,
just read it.
then her parties,
I just read
then
it.
life itself.
And trust me, the script was not
Especially
easy
Rainbow
to follow.
Dash. Rainbow Dash was the coolest, most awesome, fun-loving pony she'd ever met.
So awesome.
If she wanted to just
This is
hang out
one
and
of
have
those
fun or
fanfictions
pull
that's
some
kinda
pranks or share some
tediously
sweets or help throw a
written.
great party, it was Rainbow
So
Dash
the
who was
grammar's
there
a little
for
bit
her.
of a bitch sometimes.
She wiped her mouth as she quickly looked at herself in the
fucking
mirror.
hell.
Her mane
Freezy,
was
you're right.
straight.
You sound like you're dying.
Her eyes were bloodshot with bags under her eyes.
I don't know what's happening.
Her
She's
coat
still
was
tired.
dull with a sickly look, and she was breathing quite heavily. She looked terrible.
Very terrible.
She ran some
Can
cold
Mark hear
water
us,
and
by the way?
repeatedly splashed her face with it.
I don't
Why?
know.
She really, really,
I don't
really
know, somebody's hitting
wanted to
something
go
and it
see
hurts
Rainbow
my
Dash.
ears.
She
Why
had
was it-
to know she was okay. But at the same time, she couldn't do it
Hey,
until
Mark,
the
I don't know,
memories
maybe-
of
you
that
know.
dream had faded
Maybe that's
somewhat.
probably turned you into a cupcake.
And she had to get out of Sugar
I
Cube
don't,
Corner
I
for
don't
the day.
think that he can hear us.
She wouldn't be able to hold back any more of her stomach
I can
if
hear
she
you.
even smelled a
We'll
cupcake.
see, we'll
Hello?
still watching you. So yes, we.
Birdsong.
Pinkie tried
Kinda
to stay
funny,
in the
I just
shadows
got done
of the
with chapter 5
buildings
today.
as she quietly walked through Ponyville.
Premiering it anyway.
The fresh air and warm sun weren't any comfort today.
No.
She didn't want
Next
to
week
look at
it's the
any pony
end.
either, worried their faces would trigger another flash of the awful images in her mind. She
Is
had
it
to
in your
know where
mind,
in
though?
mind to go. She just had to wander, had to get away from Sugar Cube Corner, from her room, from anything that would remind her. She
Away
looked
from
up and
Ponyville.
around. She had lost track of how much time had passed since she started her little trek. Thankful no one had stopped to ask her why she was acting so differently today. She knew the other ponies had started to notice dips in her cheeriness. Ever since the dream,
Oh,
she
no.
had been throwing more parties than ever before.
Have you got an equal sign?
But more and more, they weren't enough. Twilight had even asked her if something was the matter,
I think I know what
and
part you're
she'd done
talking
her
about.
best to reassure her friend. Wait, Twilight!
Twilight?
Twilight was a great magical pony. If any pony could figure out a way to stop these dreams,
We're hearing
she
myself
did.
talking in the same call.
She winced at the idea of having to tell
She could be
Twilight
turning
all
into a
about the
vampire
horrific
with
things her
Twilight.
mind had imagined about
Well, I
her
mean,
and
technically
her
fan
friends.
pony.
But maybe
Sorry,
she
T
wouldn't
words.
have
God
to.
damn it.
Twilight might find a solution without having to know what the dreams were of. She picked up her pace, running straight for the library. It didn't take her long.
Oh, I hope
She figured her body must have been taking her here by instinct. It did have a funny way of working that way.
Yeah.
She ran to the door and knocked a little frantically. It didn't take long for the door to creak open.
Spike?
Oh, hey Pinkie Pie,
Yeah, what is it?
Twilight said, surprised but happy to see her friend. Is this an invitation to a party again?
That was like a, I don't know,
Twilight stopped as she blinked,
half-assed attempt at
noticing the distressed look of her friend. Are you alright, Pinkie?
I know that
You don't
music.
look so good. No.
Oh,
No.
yeah. You would know this
Good
one
Twilight.
because
Can I
it's the
come
final
in?
one in the
Pinkie
the
said,
finale to a mark.
minding her manners for once.
Don't die me is what I think what it's called.
Of course, Pinkie. Please,
Here,
make
don't die
yourself
me
at
or
home. Twilight said
oh,
quickly,
shit. What could
offering
have
her
been?
friend hospitality.
Come in and we
Thank
can
you.
kiss.
Pinkie said, as she quietly trotted into the house. She
Also
quickly headed
remember,
for the
this is
table
when
in the
Twilight
center
was
of the
not
room
a
and
princess.
sat on one of the red velvet
I
pillows
don't know,
before it.
is it going to be like the
She
Trotting
rested her
Dead?
head on the table,
Oh, for
closing her
fuck's
eyes
sake.
as she took a soft sigh to try and relax, remembering her friend's favorite hot beverage. Can I get you something to drink?
Hot chocolate.
Perhaps some hot chocolate?
Cocoa. Oh, really?
Twilight said. No sweets, please. If you have some coffee, that'd be great.
Okay.
Coffee?
No cream or sugar. Pinkie softly groaned.
She's really depressed.
No sweets?
She's yakety sax depressed.
Twilight said in shock. Oh my. This really
Oh
is
my.
serious.
I'm sure if anybody
She
here
said,
hates that
as she
episode.
quickly prepared her friend the
And
hot
not
drink
seriously
she
black.
requested.
Black.
She levitated before Pinkie, who groggily took it
Do I need to
and
get
began
Sweet Bell
to
in here?
drink.
God.
She grimaced at the bitter taste.
I know a VA that can
Pinkie,
do Sweet Bell
what's the matter?
very, very well.
You can tell me.
You can tell
said,
Twilight.
sitting down next to her downcast friend. Twilight could see the signs. Her mane was straight. Her coat was dull. Her eyes bloodshot with bags under them.
Jesus
And
Christ.
most noticeable of all, she was irradiating the energetic aura of Pinkie Pie.
Has that always been
Yeah.
like?
Oh, Twilight. It's awful. Pinkie put her
Carrot cake,
hooves over her head.
Cassie?
It's
by
the
the way?
most awful thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh, okay.
I
Oh,
can't
oh.
even believe what's happened to me.
Right,
It's
people
so
change their
awful.
names.
I can't sleep.
That's
I
just a
can't
nickname.
rest.
If you look at my
Even
actual name,
parties
it's still
aren't
Cassie
helping.
Love.
I need
Oh.
relief.
Just a nickname I have
I need
here,
to
'cause
stop
Mark
this, but
can't really
everything I've
say
tried
my,
only seems to make it
name.
worse.
Very worse.
Pinkie said.
So basically,
voice
gave me
was
the nickname
quivering.
of Carrot Cake.
Twilight
What's
couldn't
so
help
hard to-
but be
why is
surprised
it
at
so
how
hard to say
terrified
Cassie
her
Love?
friend sounded.
You can't say
Pinkie,
certain words properly.
Tell me,
My God, him and his poultry
what
dice
exactly
and
is this
poker dice.
awful thing that has happened?
It's spooky.
Twilight tried to reassure Pinkie that everything would be alright.
It's the one he can't say, but it's
Pinkie
actually
took a big breath,
the one he can't say is
stealing her
actually a tricky
nerves.
word. Manipulative. That's it.
I've been having nightmares, Twilight. Pinkie finally
If I was
said,
gonna change my name, it
Awful,
would be the one
horrible,
I put as my
relentless
Spotify name.
nightmares. I was throwing more parties to forget them, but they kept
My
coming.
name's always been the same.
That's
I
what
tried
she said.
changing my diet. I tried relaxing before bed.
Oh God, there's a lot.
I
of
even
that's what
tried
she
falling
said
asleep in a
lines here.
handstand with a lemon in my mouth while in the shower.
Especially that one in chapter 4. Oh,
Nothing
Lemon
worked.
God.
And last night's
Yeah,
nightmare
don't ask. Do not ask for the
the
context
worst
of that
of
because
them all.
I don't even know what the hell that. Am I
Nightmares?
supposed to represent?
Twilight said, tapping her chin for a moment.
Hmm.
1 second. She said, as she got up and quickly ran over to a bookshelf. She began to pull out books, checking them out, scanning them one by one.
If I
One-
really wanted
No,
to change my
no,
name on Discord,
no.
it would be
No,
No.
not
Uru
you.
Senpai.
You're not right either.
Okay.
It took about 10 minutes before Twilight
I'll
finally
screenshot
pulled a
that I
book
have on
and
my-
looked at
of
it
my,
satisfied.
Spotify username.
Aha!
It'll be
She
understandable
said,
for you
as she
to
trotted
understand
back to
them.
the
Give me
table
a
and opened
second.
the book,
Like
flipping
my
through the pages quickly.
my name originates from
Nightmares.
Skull and the nosy character.
Twilight
that I used to
began,
have in
after having
Yu-Gi-Oh.
stopped on a specific page.
What page?
A dream of strong negative emotions.
That would
A
be
common
my name.
occurrence that most
I
ponies will
decided to change
experience.
it.
However,
really
if the
move
nightmares
right now
should persist or
well,
become more
I can't go
terrifying with
anywhere
each
else right now
episode,
because otherwise I'm gonna
it
sound
could
like
be
a
for
robot if I
several
do that.
reasons.
Can you get Nightmare Moon to help?
External forces such as medication or diet, which we've
No.
already ruled out.
No.
Twilight
Because
added an
Luna really wasn't
addendum.
established as a character when this was written yet.
External stress from recent physical or
We just
mental
saw that
events,
one
or
little,
caused by a
like,
psychological
snippet
event
of
from
her at
any
the end
time
of,
during the
Friendship is
pony's
Magic.
life that has left a deep impact.
Impact?
There are
Shouldn't
several
become a
ways to
character until
determine what
season
kind of
2.
nightmare is being experienced, and what the best manner of treating them are.
And Luna eclipsed.
Twilight said, before silently reading the next part.
Memes.
What's the next part?
So, that book can help me stop the
That's what
nightmares?
she said.
Pinkie said,
I don't
hope
know.
rising in her heart.
We can try it.
Looks that way. Of course, it can't stop you from having nightmares for the rest of your life, though.
No.
They're a normal part of sleep. But
Yeah,
it
that's
can
true.
help you with your constant nightmare issue.
I can hear myself
She said,
playing as
still
Twilight
reading.
over there.
There's a spell in here that'll let me look
I am
into your
Bookhorse.
mind
I
and
am
see the
best
memories of
Bookhorse.
your dreams. That way I can see what you've been dreaming
Twilight's
about
really nasally.
and apply the proper spell
I never
to
realized
try
that,
and
but yeah,
help.
she's very.
That's
she's very
dangerous.
The
nasally.
hope that had risen inside of Pinkie fell into her gut like a boulder into a lake.
It's not
Oh,
even funny,
no.
it's almost- it's
No,
kinda like the
Twilight.
same,
Pinkie
thing
said,
that
shaking
Cole
her
said to
head
do too.
furiously.
mind delving.
You can't see my dreams. They're...
Horrible.
Pinkie covered her face with her hooves.
It's not really a spoiler because it's such an old story.
They're too horrible, Twilight. I don't want any pony to see what I've seen. Her voice was trembling. Tears
did
were
say
threatening
horrible.
to leave her eyes once more. She looked up when she saw Twilight's hoof placed against her shoulder, the look of concern on her face. I can't imagine what kind of dreams you've been having,
Okay.
Pinkie.
You can't
But-
imagine.
I can see the pain on your face. It's affecting who you are, and I can't just let this go.
No, you can't.
You came to
Twilight's
me
a good
for help,
friend.
and I'm going to help you.
True friend.
Please.
I'm so friendly.
You have to let me see what you've seen so that I can help. Twilight pleaded to her friend.
Are you gonna put like pros
Pinkie
in
lowered
your,
her
in
head
your main or
as she
something?
held back the tears burning at her eyes with all her might, swallowing
Might.
hard as she knew her friend wanted to make everything better and might have the power to do so.
Might. That's a big word.
Twilight?
Might.
Pinkie muttered in hushed breath, holding back a sob. Yes?
Yes.
What is it, Pinkie?
Where is it, Pinkie?
Twilight asked, in a similar hushed voice.
You're so cute. Can I kiss you?
Please,
Oh God.
you have to
Pinkie.
promise me that what you're about to see
Pinkie.
will
Oh God.
change your opinion of me.
Pinkie Light. Twice.
Pinkie sniffed
Pie?
deeply.
I don't know.
I swear,
Bye
Pinkie,
bye.
I won't think of you as anything
Yeah,
but the
Pinkie
dear
Light's
friend
kinda
I
hard to
know
say.
and love. Twilight said.
Twilight said, yeah.
Pinkie saw her smile. It was so reassuring, so comforting.
Very comforting indeed.
Pinkie Pie swear?
Oh,
Pinkie
I know
asked
you're
one
obsessed
last
with
Cross
time.
my heart, hope to fly, stick a
Twilight just
cupcake
seemed
in
to
your
smile,
eye.
a little amused.
gosh.
In my eye.
Stick a
Cross my
cupcake
heart,
in my
hope to fly, stick a cupcake in my eye. Twilight
Instead of
did
a
the
cupcake,
motions
it's
of
a
the
knife.
Pinkie Pie swear, mimicking
Oh,
sticking the pastry into her face. Pinkie
My
took a moment to
Jesus.
let it sink in, then squeezed her eyes shut
People call me
and
the
lowered her
dark
head
horse.
a little.
Oh.
All right,
I'm
The dog torture
surprised.
part.
Trust you. Twilight. Pinkie Pie softly
I don't know,
muttered
sick
as she did her
just
best
mind
to
if I
prepare
use
for
it.
whatever was going to happen next.
What's gonna happen next?
Twilight nodded softly
That's what she said.
as she remembered the spell from the book, her horn glowing
Is this
with
old?
light as she
I
concentrated.
know that magical sound effect.
She gently swept hair covering Pinkie's forehead behind her ear to hold it,
That
then
season
gently
1,
tapped the
season
tip of her
2
horn
sounds.
against Pinkie's skull.
Just a sound package that I got from a friend like forever ago.
Ooh. Reminds me of Dr.
Leave me
Colstar.
alone!
Oh jeez.
The slender pony approached.
Is it
relentless.
Annie?
The static screeched at
Mark,
her
really?
as it drew closer.
Really not
Pain
really.
shocked her body from one
Being a
side to
freaking
the other
ant-
as
being a
blood seemed to
demonologist.
splatter and cloud her vision, turning the world red. She fell to her knees trying to grasp
Basically, you've got
reality
Mark who's obsessed
before the
with
pain
basically
and
demons
sound
and
became too
paranormal.
much to bear.
You've got Freezy who's literally obsessed over Twilight.
Well, the
Sparrow.
song.
I don't know
Well,
what you're obsessed with, Sparrow.
There was a hole in her
Well,
body.
the song to sum
A
the
hole?
story
Could
up
feel the
is
worms
literally
She's a
demons
changeling.
is
crawling
Demons
up into
by
her torso.
Imagine Dragons.
They were eating her, eating her.
That's a
alive.
10 out of 10 song.
The pain
It is.
clawed
It's
into
literally
her very
this
soul,
story.
but yet death would not come. Her
That's what
body
she
lied
said.
there, unflinching as the insects had their way,
Insects?
feeling every
It's
wriggle
happening- it's in
and
butterflies
slime
now.
of their bodies as they slid under her skin.
Ugh. She's been eaten alive.
Bones crunched in her teeth as blood dripped down her chin. The fresh taste of gooey flesh slid down her
Ugh.
throat. Sharp teeth bored
Gooey
down again
flesh.
into the side of an earth pony's neck as the pony's head fell from her body, giving her
Cool.
a good chunk of flesh to chew.
Ugh.
The taste was revolting,
Very faulty.
but she craved it.
What?
She had to have it. She had to have more. Her teeth
it a fo-
dug
is
into
it
the
a-
pony's skull,
Is it a
crushing
like
the
a
skull as the inner organs
like
began
a
to dribble
zombie or
into her
something?
mouth. She had to have more.
That's what she
This
said.
one would never be enough. The screams had died down, but
Died
that
down?
wouldn't last for long.
No, it won't.
Why? Why are you doing this?
It was
I
the
didn't-
pained and frantic cry of Rainbow Dash.
You kidding,
She
Rainbow
could
Dash?
see her tied down to a table, wings already sewn
Oh, it's like cupcakes now!
torn off by
Seriously?
her own hooves. Oh, Rainbow Dash, every pony dies sometime. Her voice betrayed
That
her
might feel
as she
cupcakes
pulled
a bit,
out
actually.
a scalpel.
What?
It's a simple concept, really. You just have to think. Did my life mean anything? Did I die with a purpose? Will my memory be left when I'm
Is
gone?
Pinkie Pie dead now?
All of these are important questions, you see.
Is Rainbow Dash
She
gonna be
walked toward Rainbow
unmarked?
Dash. She could feel the murderous intent grasping at every fiber of her being.
But
But what?
Rainbow Dash hiccuped through the pain and tears.
I won't
I-
have died for a good purpose if you kill me.
Rainbow sobbed.
How could you do this to me?
Is Rainbow Dash having the same,
She raised her hoof
like a
and
nightmare
petted
of
Rainbow
her
Dash's
getting
face.
killed? Or is she already
leaned in close
technically
to her.
killed?
There was an attraction she could never describe as having felt before.
Attraction?
Her breath was hot, and her body betrayed her mind. Oh, Rainbow Dash.
Ah,
If you
Rainbow
don't know
Dash.
the reason by now, you'll never understand. This is just how
Hey.
things have to be.
B?
She stepped back from her prisoner. Rainbow only looked confused, but she would
Very
rectify that look.
confused.
She gripped her scalpel and placed it at the base of Rainbow's hip, and sliced
Oh!
down her leg.
That's like
Pain
the
overtook
cupcakes
Rainbow's face
reading
and
bit.
voice as she began her delicate slicing operation. After all, she had to prepare the ingredients to be just right.
Ingredients? Is it for cupcakes?
Twilight stumbled back. Her head kicked back instinctively, wanting to escape from the horrors inside of Pinkie's mind.
What?
Twilight crashed into a bookcase, causing a cascade of books to fall onto her. She was breathing heavy,
Avalanche!
frantic, and panicked. The spell had only taken a few seconds to complete, but the rush of all the dream memories flooded her all at once. Those dreams were horrific and so real.
Maybe
She
it
had
was real.
felt everything in those dreams, even though dreams should not normally contain such vivid feelings.
Yeah.
The monster that attacked her,
You sure Pinkie Pie's
the
not
feeling of bugs
depressed?
crawling all throughout her
general.
skin and organs, the gagging taste of flesh in her throat,
Is that
the
a cock?
torture,
No, sorry.
the acts
Sorry,
she
guys.
had committed. She wanted to vomit.
Ugh, I hate
Twilight? Came
Yes,
a
Pinkie.
scared, timid, almost hushed voice.
Hush now, quiet now.
Twilight snapped from her thoughts and looked up at her pink friend. She was trembling with fear as tears streamed down her eyes. That was right. These were the dreams Pinkie was having.
Yes.
The dreams that were terrifying her. The dreams that she had come to her for help with.
Help?
Pinkie,
The help that she will get.
Twilight finally muttered, swallowing back her own emotions and stomach contents.
Ugh.
I had no idea. She said shakily, getting to her hooves and slowly walking back to her friend.
I think Twilight's going to sort of think she would try
to be strong
to fix
right
it.
now.
She would try to fix it, like with the
Pinkie
Trixie.
sniffed through her sobs.
The Trixie thing.
I'm
Or Starlight.
I'm
one.
sorry. I'm so
Very
sorry
sorry.
you saw them. She closed her eyes, gasping for air through her sobs. Twilight quickly moved next to Pinkie, taking her into an embrace to hold her tight.
Ah.
Pinkie cried desperately into Twilight's shoulder. Twilight held her dear friend, making sure she knew she had all of her support.
Ah, yes.
The images may have made her stomach twist,
Yes.
but her friend was more important than that.
A true friend held a friend
It's
indeed.
okay, Pinkie.
Ah.
Twilight said
Shit,
once
by the
Pinkie's
way.
sobs had started to calm down. I can see how much these dreams have been eating at you.
Yeah.
The Pinkie in those dreams is not you.
No.
So we just have to figure out why you're having them. Twilight said, letting
Go
her friends
inside the
clearly know
Pinkie's
that she
mind
had,
is
in
a dangerous
fact,
idea,
kept her
though.
promise. The Pinkie in her arms was nothing like the Pinkie that appeared in the dreams. Pinkie slowly nodded her head in agreement before finally being able to stop her tears and let go of Twilight.
Let go.
Twilight turned to her book and flipped a few pages. Since we know it's not your diet, we need to determine if it's because of recent events or if it's something much deeper in your psyche. So,
you ate a
let's start
cupcake. Is that the reason why?
when did the dreams start happening? Well, Pinkie rubbed her face, trying to dry it some. The dreams started about a few days after the Grand Galloping Gala, and they've been happening about every night for the last 2 weeks. They didn't happen one night after I did change my diet, but then they just came back the next day. Pinkie said, trying to recall how often she'd have them. Well, the gala was a pretty big incident. You certainly seemed fine at the donut shop, but what about after that?
Sugar
I know you
rush.
said you had some business to attend to before you headed back to Ponyville, so we didn't see you again till we were heading to the chariot. Twilight wondered. Well, after I'd spent time with you guys, I went and met with my sister Octavia. She was the one playing the cello on stage during the gala. She was the main reason I was able to get away with my music antics.
No, that
while
must
there.
be... That's a...
I wanted to go thank her for helping me try to liven things up.
Octavia and Pinkie Pie.
Pinkie said, recalling the night.
I'm not sure.
She was a little mad at me at first for the mess I'd caused.
Yeah.
But she forgave me, and we ended up having a very fun chat about what we'd both been up to since we'd left the farm.
Yeah.
After a little while, it was
We
time
didn't know
for me
about,
to go, so we promised
the
we'd
family
keep
as
better
such
in touch.
of Pinkie Pie.
Twilight pondered this. Do you think it was that meeting with your sister that could have started the dreams? Twilight asked curiously.
Maybe?
I wouldn't understand that if she did. We had fun that night. There wasn't anything that she said that was negative.
Maybe it was something at the
Have you
farm.
gotten a letter from her yet? I did get one, but it was just letting me know that she was going to be performing a concert in Philadelphia. She said that her band was touring around, so that if I wanted to send her letters, I'd have to address them to her band, since the mail carriers know where they'll be.
Yeah.
Pinkie said, tilting her head in thought. Again, there was nothing negative, though.
No?
Well, what about the last 2 weeks, then? You seemed mostly fine, other than a few instances where you weren't as chipper.
The slender
Twilight
pony?
said, remembering Pinkie Pie was a little less hyper than usual the last few days. She certainly could understand why now, though.
Yeah.
No, nothing significant. I've been throwing more parties because of the dreams, but it's just been life as usual in Ponyville. Pinkie said, shaking her head slowly.
Life.
I see.
I see.
Twilight went back to consulting her books, scanning the pages of the book, flipping through some more, looking for what would be best to handle this.
How can you handle it?
Here we are. It's another spell. This one is a bit more of a mind delve. Its intention is to find the source of your problems, though. It'll let us find out why you're having these dreams, be it a minor or major reason. Twilight said confidently.
Minor.
So,
It's not
don't worry,
minor.
Pinkie. I'm going to make sure you'll be all better in no time.
Oh, shit.
She gave her friend a confident smile.
And a kiss?
Thank you, Twilight. Pinkie said, giving a soft smile back. Alright. The book says the spell can be a little disorienting at first, but that you'll get used to it. You ready?
Yes,
Twilight
that's
asked.
what she said.
Pinkie gave her a nod. Then, here goes nothing,
Let's
Twilight
go.
said, taking a deep breath as she concentrated once more, her horn flaring up with light.
Light.
She lowered it towards
Let
Pinkie's
there be
forehead
light.
once more and gently touched her. Pinkie's mind did a flip and felt like it fell into a hazy fog.
Oh.
She lost track of her surroundings as it felt like she was falling from a very far height. The world was spinning around her as she felt like wind was rushing past her.
That
Her
reminds me of
stomach was rolling
the
inside of her as she was inside of this intense
pensive
feeling.
a bit.
She wondered just how long she was going to feel this way when she finally felt the world stabilizing with a thud that knocked the wind out of her.
Ooh.
She gasped for breath, coughing a bit before feeling the sensation of a ground beneath her. She lifted her head up and shook it lightly, before slowly opening her eyes. She was still in the library, that was for sure.
Yeah.
But Twilight was missing.
Who's
Why would
there
she
then?
leave her alone in the library? Twilight?
Where are you?
She called out, but the only thing that came back was a hollow echo.
Twilight?
This
Twilight?
was bizarre. The library seemed eerily quiet, even more so than usual when Twilight wasn't around.
Yeah.
She looked onto the table, noticing two things on it, a
What was
bag
that?
and a note.
A note?
She carefully read the words on the note. You must cross the darkness to see the light.
What's the
Pinkie
darkness?
looked at the piece of paper a little confused.
Are you sure you're going to
Did
see some
Twilight
happy
write this?
trees? And sad
If she
trees?
did, what did it mean? Was she supposed to take this bag with her? Twilight must know what she's doing after all. She wouldn't just abandon her here without a good reason. Pinkie opened the bag, looking to see if there was anything inside of it. There were two things inside.
Bread?
The first one was obvious what it was. It was a lantern. Inside was oil with a wick. There was a knob on the side. She assumed it would turn the lantern on.
Nope.
If she was going to use it, she'd have to make sure to not use up all the oil.
Yeah.
She gently placed the lantern back into the bag.
It's like,
What's
it's
this?
precious.
She
What's
asked
what?
as she pulled out a rectangular device. It had a dial on it and an antenna, but it wasn't an object she was familiar with.
Something
It
from
had
our
a face
world.
like a picture on it, with a circle on it that had holes.
Holes?
In her mind, it kind of looked like a miniature phonograph. But how would this tiny thing play music? In her hoof, it began to spring to life, playing a soft static sound.
Hello, sweet
Pinkie dropped it, surprised by the sudden sound. She stared at it as it buzzed. The sound seemed like a bunch of bees being played through a DJ table. She
TJ
poked
Table.
the device with
It
her
sounds
hook.
like a band. It sounds
After a
like
few
DJ
moments,
Pony's name.
the buzzing stopped.
And
Pinkie
calls a
looked
buzz.
confused, but had the gut instinct that it must be something important.
Very important.
She placed it back in the bag. I guess Twilight believed I needed this bag. I'll keep to her
Yes.
advice then.
But it's in your mind
Pinkie
though,
mutters
isn't it?
to herself as she carefully strapped the bag to her back. She then looked around. The library seems to hold no more clues for the moment, so she decided to step outside. She felt more comfortable now that she had visited Twilight, so maybe she should go visit Rainbow Dash now.
This is not...
Huh? Pinkie said,
You're
stopping
not
short
in the
of a
library
few
now.
feet out the
Yeah.
door. A thick fog had fallen all around Ponyville.
It's like a
It
dream
was so
after all,
thick,
isn't it?
She couldn't even see the buildings next to the library. She'd have to get close to a building if she wanted to see one. Then she started to shiver as a wind blew by. The temperature had fallen a significant amount.
It's sure it's not a ghost or the P word, a
What's going
polka
on?
dot. It's a polka
never
dice.
seen this kind
Oh,
of
for
weather in
fuck's...
Ponyville before.
Poacher...
said, confused.
I give up!
Did Rainbow Dash do this? Why would she? Pinkie knew
No,
she had
don't
to
think
find
Rainbow Dash
Rainbow and talk to her now. She quickly began to run off in the direction she knew Rainbow's house to be.
It sounds like
She was in
Pinkie
full
Pie
gallop
is
when she suddenly
kept her
realized
mind
she had
to this
come
one.
to a full stop. She skidded along the ground and stopped along an edge, a few pebbles getting kicked loose and falling in front of her.
Pebbles?
There was a gigantic chasm that had never been in Ponyville right before her.
That's a
It
gorge.
cut right down the road to Rainbow's house.
Earthquake.
In fact, it cut off the entire way outside of Ponyville if you didn't have wings. What's going on?
What's going on?
She asked as she stared into what seemed to be a bottomless pit.
A fault line in Ponyville. To be continued. Okay, that was Sparrow Reads Silent Ponyville, My Little Pony Fanfic Reading, GRIMDARK, Chapter 1. Okay, that was a start of the story, basically, technically.
Hey, my Briar.
Bye-bye. It
Goodbye,
seems
my
like... Bye-bye. He just pops in and out. It seemed... The story had a little bit of elements of cupcakes. Hello.
It has references to cupcakes, butterflies, and I think Rocket to Insanity.
I did mention butterflies in the reaction.
Yeah, that one where it feels like the insects are trying to I'm like, yeah, that's butterflies for you.
Yeah. Definitely cupcakes by the... I think it's more the description of the way she was cutting Rainbow Dash. Especially where she was talking to Rainbow Dash. Oh, you don't need to worry, Dashy.
It'll all be over soon.
Yeah.
As soon as I finish cutting your windpipe, and maybe the rest of you just like skinned off.
Maybe she's been unmarked.
Well, that's how it goes in the actual story.
It did seem that it did feel like the dreams were real, technically. That makes sense.
Fun
Bye, my
fact,
Briar.
once
Bye, my
upon a
Briar.
time-
It seems like the dream was real in Pinkie's mind, but was it real, or is it just Pinkie's imagination? And by the picture, by the thumbnail, it seemed like the normal Pinkie Pie. It seems like the normal Pinkie Pie was the killer, and Pinkie Banana Pie was the innocent one. Like the odd pony. The odd pony. Technically, they are the same pony, in a way. Yeah, Pinkie Banana Pie and Pinkie Pie are basically the same pony, but different split personalities. We don't know why Pinkie Pie was having these dreams in the first place. Okay, we know it's just after Christmas, because of Grand Galling Gala. Octavia is Pinkie Pie's sister, somehow. Not sure how that works, but anyway, this is alternative universe. It sounds very tragic, actually, at the moment. Twilight's there to really help Pinkie Pie at the end of the day. She's been a true friend to Pinkie Pie. That's what Twilight does. is being a true friend. And that sound effect is basically Season 1, the magic sound effects of Season 1. We are talking about the Golden Oak Library. And it's actually quite a small library when you think about it. Because it holds books, but it didn't hold many books as such. I'm not sure if this was written after Party of 1 or before Party of 1. We don't know why Pinkie Pie is having these dreams. Maybe that would be in the next chapter, maybe find out. Also, when we got into the second dream state, it seems that Pinkie Pie was still had a conscious of being the real Pinkie Pie. But outside, or the surroundings, was different. Like, we're in a dream state, but you're conscious, you're in a lucid type dream, you know what is going on within the dream. And the big pit in the road, or in the Ponyville, it's like a fault line or an earthquake has gone through the Ponyville. There's still some unanswered questions about this story. And it's only the first chapter. We only establishing what Pinkie Pie is dreaming about. But the next job is to find out why and how she's getting these dreams in the first place. We don't know what's going to happen until I react to it. On that note, hope you like this reaction, and all my reaction videos I do, and I'll see you next time. Oh, yes.
And I'll fly